We good? Okay. So this is a behind the scenes episode with Ben, and what we wanted to do today is we're kind of testing out formats for dictations, and what I told Jenny, who's behind the camera now, is let's capture some of the prepping for the new format of dictations, and Dr. Rogers, what this is. This is a behind the scenes. So we're getting ready to go into our new format. And as many of you guys know, if you've been following along, hopefully you have, dictations for the last, 6 months to 8 months has been Dr. Rogers giving a report on basically anything that's on his mind in regards to your health. You'll notice we start the doctor's note with, welcome back to the doctor's note. This is what's on our minds when it comes to your health. And what we do throughout the week is he actually sends me just articles from all of his papers that he's reading for possible things that we could talk about. And now we're starting to think, what if this was a more of an interview format, and it'd be me and him on the episode, on the recording, because the goal, as you know, Dr. Rogers, we're trying to bring the most value to you guys, and what we're thinking is, instead of him just giving a report, what if we come into it with the idea of what are people really needing to know more about? And I think that's where the interviewing kind of comes into play. And I think you mentioned before, we started this behind the scenes episode, that you wanted to give a quick COVID update, and there's some things that you wanted to talk about. Kind of give me the process there. Were you reading some articles that prompted, okay, I need to let everybody know about this, or something like that?
Right. I like to once every few weeks give an update on COVID anyway, because that's what's on everybody's minds right now. They're worried about getting COVID or their loved ones getting COVID, opening up the economy, going back to school, how this thing's disrupting their life, or going back to work. But as you know, this is September 19th. We're well into fall, and things are starting to kind of gel out a little bit. Schools are going back. A lot of workers are going back to the office. People are, even though right now in our area it's kind of peaking, hopefully it's a little bit on the downward shift, but we've certainly seen a lot of COVID. I've treated a lot of COVID by telemedicine. So we have more experience with it, and as I read all the research from all around the world on what's working, which people are more affected, and then I like to relay that to all our patients and audience.
And I think one thing that's kind of interesting to know, just being kind of on the inside here and seeing how you and the team are responding to a lot of these COVID patients, is you're actually seeing what's working versus what's not. You're very adamant that patients follow up with you, and that you kind of get an update, not just from reading the USA Today and what Dr. Fauci is saying and stuff like that, but you're actually hearing it from patients who are being treated, as far as what's working and who's having problems. So I find that kind of fascinating, just the quick feedback loop you're getting, and then with dictations, kind of bringing that feedback to the people who are following us and kind of wanting that up-to-date type update, for lack of a better term, because things seem to be changing every single week.
Right. Out of the 50 or 60 patients that I've treated, a lot of them I talk to on a daily basis, and kind of follow along with how they're feeling. And it seems to be with COVID, it's kind of a waxing and waning. You get better, you may have some down days, and so it's been really interesting, the course of this disease, and who gets really sick with it and who flies right through it, and whole families that have been affected, that I've treated their whole family. So it's just really interesting. So I hope today in our dictation that we can shed some light on why some people get worse than others, and what you can do to help yourself maybe prevent it or get early treatment, which does work if you hit it early enough. And so that's very timely.
Well, what do you think about jumping into the dictation episode?
Okay.